America in the book of Revelation. What I did, I was going through Revelation, the 17th chapter, kind of skipping around verse here, verse there. And we already know that what Revelation, well, we should know the entire book of Revelation. You know, we should know it in our sleep because we've been through it many times. So in the book of Revelation, the 17th chapter is a very easy, simple breakdown to us and to others. You know, it's still a mystery. You know, we know that part of Revelation, the 17th chapter, is referring to the Roman Empire, which Christian scholars, and I have one right here, you see it before you. This is from a commentary, Christianity.com, and they do say, I'm not going to read the whole article, I'm just reading the part that you see here, which is a commentary on Revelation 17, verse 15 to 18. And they do mention Rome, but they don't mention the well, you know what I'm gonna do? Let me do this. This is Revelation. Because I don't want to read the whole chapter. I want to go right to the point. You know what I'll do? I'll start at 6. I mean, when you get a chance, you read the whole chapter, but I'm just picking out verses here and there. Revelation 17, verse 5, and upon her foreheads was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. Now, High Priest Ariel, which I had a dream about him last night, he was young again, but he was worldly. You know, he was dressed up, and I told him, I said, you look good. And he kind of like walked away, but he was like doing something worldly, getting ready to pick up a woman. So in the dream, I said, Ariel's, worldly. And this was in Harlem. I was in Harlem, and I was kind of walking around. It was raining. It was cold, and I woke up to the chill here. I had the window open. It was cold, and I felt it in the dream. But anyway, Ariel used to go into these breakdowns. I never met an individual that went into the Bible breakdowns like the book of Revelation, the book of Daniel, as much as he did. So I'm pretty much the same way. I go into these books, and like I said, we went through this, and if you've been in part of GMS for a number of years and you can't break down these scriptures, then there's a problem. Anyway, the Spirit led me back to Revelation 17, which we actually spoke about this past weekend out at the camp. Anyway, it says Revelation 17 verse 5, and upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. Which that's America. That's the system. When I say America, I'm talking about America and the beast that she sat upon, which is NATO and the EU, which the UN is a part of that as well. Anyway, when you go into the Hebrew, and I happen to have a New Testament Hebrew Bible, and Hebrew has a numeric value. So when you put these Hebrew characters together, do the math, you come up with 666, 600, 606, which High Priest Ariad did the breakdown on it. Anyway, it says, and I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints. This makes me think about Daniel, the 7th chapter, which says the same thing, how they wore out the saints of the Most High when they came over here to the Americas and came against Gad, Reuben, and the so-called Latin tribes. And then and they put hell on them, slaughtered them. One of the first acts of Columbus was to take 500 of them, and he spoke about how they would make great slaves. And he put them in ships and sent them to Spain, and they went right into, they put them right into slavery. So we're talking about the late 1400s into the 1500s, and then they started bringing Jakes, the tribe of Judah, Benjamin, Levi, and Ephraim, and some of the other so-called Latin tribes, because some of the 10 tribes, or 10 tribes, you can say 9 tribes, Yaquab, you should say 9.5 tribes, they had stayed with the kingdom of Judah. When you go into the history, that's spoken of in Second Chronicles 15 and Second Chronicles the 30th chapter, and I believe it's also in Kings. I'm sorry, those are the main 2 chapters. Like I said, I'm almost positive. I went through it about a month or so ago, but I'm positive it's Second Chronicles 15 and Second Chronicles 30, mainly 30. So are you going to have Ephraim, the tribe of Ephraim, and the tribe of Manasseh, and some of the other tribes of the Northern Kingdom in Africa? Yes, you are. Because some of them stayed with Jeroboam, and some of them went back to Judah, because they knew that the kingship came through the tribe of Judah. And it has something to do with them getting ready for the Passover. And they were unclean and so forth. That's a whole nother lesson, which I may do later. But because all this controversy over all this mess over 12 tribe sign, yeah, that's a big controversy now with the 12 tribe sign, which that's even another lesson. You know, this whole Hebrew Israelite thing brings a lot of controversy, man. You know, everybody's talking about the whole Hebrew Israelite thing, and when they talk about it, they're not talking about the people over there in Israel today, Jakes that went over there. They're not talking about them. They're not talking about Yahweh ben Yahweh, which he passed years ago. And I found out, I saw another TV, and he had what was his name, Kamani, and he showed a video, it's an actual video of Mitchell, which is Yahweh ben Yahweh, that he's been around for years. He's been around way back in the early 60s in the Nation of Islam, and he was one of the FOI members. They actually have a video of him, and he talks just like Malcolm. You know, his diction, voice tone, just like Malcolm. Anyway, so, you know, I didn't know that. Anyway, it says, coming back to the subject, anyway, it says Revelation 17 verse 5, and upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and the abomination of the earth. Babylon the Great is America. Now, when I come back to that, the commentary, they're not going to mention it, but they are going to mention Rome. They will mention Rome. They will have to admit that when you go into the book of Revelation, certain parts of the book is referring to ancient Rome. They know that. Anyway, but they will not equate the book of Revelation with America. Why? Because then they would have to admit that America will be destroyed, as we're going to read down. It says in Revelation 17 verse 6, and I saw the woman drunken, and that's America, with the blood of the saints. And how did they do that? When they came over there, they started killing the saints. The saints that were already over here, Gad, Reuben. Now Simeon, a lot of Simeonites are actually Judites and even some Benjaminites. A lot of these Cuban, you see these Cuban boxers that they're dark skinned. A lot of them are Benjaminites. And maybe some Levites. And a lot of them don't even have Spanish names, like Rigondeaux. It's not a Spanish name. Guillermo Rigondeaux. It's not a Spanish name. He's probably Levi. The greatest boxer out of Cuba is Teofimo. What's his name? Stevenson. His last name was Stevenson. I believe it's the first name is Teofimo, and I remember him. And they were trying to put a match together between him and Ali. And I thought if they fought, he would have beat Ali. This guy was a big dude. This dude was like, I think he was 6'6", big dude, and he won every fight by knockout, and he won 3 gold medals back to back in the Olympics. Greatest Cuban fighter boxer out there, and he was a Benjaminite when you read his story. His name was Stevenson, Benjaminite. And then you had Simeon. A lot of the Simeonite, the darker ones, are really Judah, or of the kingdom of Judah. Anyway, it says, and I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints, and the woman is America. This is the beginnings of America. When Christopher Columbus came over here, as soon as they got over here, he started killing these people, raping them, killing them, bringing them back to Spain, and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahweh Shai. Now that's talking about the Roman Empire, because John was not put to death, but the Most High spared his life so he can receive these revelations to give to the 7 churches of Asia Minor, which they're back here today. I would say amongst, Israel today. And with the blood of the martyrs of Yahweh Shai. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. Admiration meaning love. And I guess it was, when you go deeper into it, she was beautiful. You ever see a woman that's wicked as hell, but she's fine as hell, and you can't see past her wickedness because she's so fine. Well, that's what John saw. It's a wicked woman, but such a beautiful, alluring woman, because he actually saw a woman. He didn't see America. He saw a woman, and he didn't understand what these visions represented. We understand it fully. 7th verse. And the angel said unto me, wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carrieth her. That's the EU and NATO, which have the 7 heads and 10 horns. So when you go back to the Roman Empire, that was the scarlet beast. The woman didn't come about until America came on the scene. The concept of America came on the scene. It says the beast, 8th verse, the beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit. The beast that thou sawest was, which is the Roman Empire, and is not, because there's going to be an end of the Roman Empire, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit, which is Christopher Columbus coming to America, and go into perdition. Perdition means destruction. So the destruction or the perdition is when the missiles are going to destroy this system. And we're in that time. It's going to happen in within our lifetime. You know, Lord willing, it happens next year sometime. That dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life. Whose names are written in the book of Lamb's book of life? The elect. So you're going to have Israelites that's not written in the Lamb's book of life. So they're going to die right along with the wicked from the foundation of the world. When they behold the beast that was, which is the Roman Empire, and is not, because there's going to be a time where the Roman Empire will cease to exist, and yet is the Roman Empire all over again, NATO, the EU, but this time there's a woman involved in this. That woman wasn't there during the time of the Roman Empire. Just like you have the daughter of Babylon, well, this system will be the daughter of Rome. 9th verse, Revelation 17 verse 9, and here is the mind which have his wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains which represent governments on which the woman sitteth. Now we know that this is talking about this time period, and there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen and 1 is, and the others not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. That's Great Britain. And the beast that was and is not, even he is which is the she, is the 8th, and is of the 7, and goeth into perdition. The 8th represent America coming out of the 7. The last of the 7 is is Great Britain or the UK, and the 8th is America, and is of the 7, and goeth into perdition. Let me look up the word perdition. I mean, I already know the word, but which goeth into perdition.
Strong's G 684. Apoleia. Apoleia.
Apoleia. Like the Apollo space mission, now they call it the Dragon. These ships that are going up into space, they call it the Dragon. Back in the 60s, they called it the Apollo. Now the word Apollo is Greek for destroyer. And that's Jeremiah 31, where it speaks about if they can go to the outreaches of the heavens, then the Most High will do away with Israel. So really, when they send those ships up there, that's to destroy Israel. They're not going to reach the furthest expanse of space. Anyway, it says destroying utter destruction, which to do away with to destroy the whole land. Isaiah the 13th chapter. A perishing ruin, destruction. It says of money, the destruction which consists of eternal misery in hell, which they went off on that. No such thing as hell. Hell is the grave. So perdition means destruction. Okay, where am I? 11 verse. Revelation 17 verse 11. And the beast that was and is not, even he is the eighth, which is America, and is of the seven. It didn't say seventh, it said seven, and goeth into perdition. America is going to be destroyed. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receiveth power as kings 1 hour with the beast. And that represents the EU, which there's like 28, 29, but there's really 10. When you go to the flag of the EU, there's 12 stars, and really it should be 10, because you have Great Britain. Part of Great Britain is Ireland, which is a star, which is supposed to make up 1 star, not 2 stars. And Spain and Portugal. Portugal came out of Spain, so that makes up another star. So it's really 10, but they added other nations to that. Anyway, it says the 1 hour represents about 42 years, which now they're living on borrowed time. They're living on borrowed time. You know, I'll be surprised if this system makes it to the year 2022. This system will make it to 2021, which is less than 2 months away. 2021. And the Most High is going to really, you think it's bad now, the Most High is going to really turn it up, in my estimation, in the year 2021. It said, these have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. These shall make war with the Lamb, and that's that war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon and his angels. And what these space, these ships that are going up into space, it's called the dragon. It's called the dragon. So Yahushai, and behind Yahushai is Michael and the archangels, and an innumerable amount of angels. They're going to fight against the dragon. The ships that are going up, I have to say it again, into the heavens, is called the dragon. And it says that there was no space, there was no place found in heaven of the dragon and his angels. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is Lord of lords and King of kings. He's more powerful than Esau. Esau getting ready to get fucked up royally, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. Talking about the angels are faithful, and the saints, the elect, are faithful. It says, and he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest where the who sitteth, which is America, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues, which is a great melting. America is called a great melting pot. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, So these European allies, they're gonna shoot missiles on America too. We don't speak about that a lot. We talk about the Russians and the people of Iran and the Arab nations, but the European nations they're gonna shoot missiles as well. It says, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. That fire is from those missiles. And the Most High hath put it in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and to give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. So now let me go to this commentary. It says here, commentary on Revelation 17 verse 15 to 18. It says, and I'll read it verbatim. God so ruled the hearts of these kings by his power over them and by his providence, that they did those things without intending it, which he proposed and foretold. They shall see their folly, and how they have been bewitched and enslaved by the harlot. Now they're not going to tell you who the harlot is, and they should know, and be made instruments in her destruction. That's the 10 horns, because it says without intending it. She was that great city which reigned over the kings of the earth, and they're not going to tell you who that great city is or who the harlot is, but they should know. When John had this vision, and everyone knows Rome to be that city, that's a damn lie. Rome is not that city. Rome is not that city. They know or should know that that city is America. But they're not going to say it, because they would have to admit that this place is going to be destroyed by fire. It says believers will be received to the glory of the Lord. Well, the believers are Israelites, not like they're saying if you're white, black, Chinese, whatever nation, as long as you believe. No, the believers are the elect of Israel, the ones that are written in the Lamb's book of life. Esau is not written in the Lamb's book of life. Moab is not written in the Lamb's book of life. Ham or Ishmael or Japhet is not written in the Lamb's book of life. They're the Israelites that happen to be the elect, chosen elect from the foundation of the earth. Oh, it's going to get messy. You think 2020 was a hell of a year? Wait till 2021 come around. The Most High Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua is going to turn things up. And I see this is the year that you guys that are a part of this thing that ain't right, and that includes members of GMS, some of you guys are going to fall off. Some of you are going to get kicked out. Some of you guys are evil, wicked men that have crept in unawares, that the Most High is going to get rid of. It says, when wicked men will be destroyed in a most awful manner. It's talking about America, which they don't want to admit to that. That's why they said Rome. They said the city is Rome. Their joining together in sin will be turned to hatred and rage, and they will eagerly assist in tormenting each other. But the Lord's portion is his people. Who is his people? The Israelites. His counsel shall stand, and he will do all his pleasure to his glory and the happiness of all his servants, which are the Israelites. Anyway, I'm going to say shalom.